Hey guys, it's Ellie bringing you Keto Thanksgiving dinner. Suz had Thanksgiving last year, which means I have it this year, and that means you get new keto ideas for your Thanksgiving dinner, including a new way to try to cook a turkey a little bit faster than normal. Let's not waste any time and get right on into the video. First up, we're going to roast a turkey spatchcock style. Now, this was my first time cooking a turkey, so this was definitely an interesting thing for me. We started off with our coating. We had a tablespoon of salt, a tablespoon of sage, a tablespoon of thyme, and 1 teaspoon of black pepper. We just put all that together and mixed it up and set it aside for when we were done with our turkey. Now, like I said, I had never cooked a turkey before, so to me, this was all new. I had absolutely no idea how long it would take to thaw, and unfortunately, this took a little bit longer than I thought it would. I can get the packet out here, but unfortunately, I couldn't get anything else out, but at least I got that far. Once I got that out, I started to do the spatchcock. Now, what this is you're going to take scissors and you're going to cut down one side of the backbone, and then once you get done, you're going to go down the other side of the backbone as well. This is a little bit difficult to do. I was able to do it with some kitchen scissors, but you might want to get some shears, and some people even use an electronic tool to get this done. But luckily for me, with a little bit of elbow grease, I was able to get it done. So right now, like I said, I'm just going down one side of the turkey, and then I'm going to go down the other as well. And like I said, this was frozen a little bit more than it needed to be, which means it was still a little frozen, but I was able to do it with just a little bit of elbow grease. All right, so now I've got it all opened up and I've got that backbone separated, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull that off. Also, because I wasn't able to get everything out, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pull out the neck and the rest of the guts as well too. You can use those for gravy. I just tossed them out because I didn't have any other use for them. Once you get your turkey all together, you can go ahead and put it on a roaster pan that's tinfoil lined at the bottom, and you're going to want to spread the turkey out. Part of doing that is you're going to need to crack the bones in the middle to make sure that it is spread as evenly as possible along the pan. Right there, I'm just pushing down as hard as I can to make sure it's nice and spread out. Once that's done, I've got a stick of melted butter, and I'm just going to kind of put it on there across the turkey. Now, I'm going to keep most of that butter. I'm going to do about half right now, but I'm going to keep the rest for later, because what's going to happen is at 350 in the oven, I'm going to cook this turkey for 30 minutes at a time. Each time I bring it out, I'm going to use a little bit more butter on the skin of the turkey, and then I'm going to flip the way that it was in from before to the other side and put it back in for another 30 minutes. Now, this was a 15-pound turkey, so it took me 2.5 hours total time to cook it up. Once I've got all my seasoning on there, I'm just going to go ahead and put it in the oven, and then once it's done, it comes out looking just like this. Man, this was beautiful, and it was delicious, if I say so myself. So, final result, I think it came out great. It cooked in about half, if not less, of the time it takes to cook a normal turkey, and it made our Thanksgiving go that much smoother. Coming up next, we have a supreme green bean casserole. This was so great. It had all the good stuff in it: the green beans, the bacon, the cheese, and the pork skins. So to make the sauce for the green bean casserole, I did it all in one pan. First, I cooked about 8 slices of bacon, and I used the grease behind to heat my onions and make them nice and soft. I did this on medium-high heat for about 2 minutes, and it was a total of 3 ounces of onion. Once I'd finished that, I dropped in about a tablespoon of minced garlic, and I cooked that for another minute. After that, I would have put in a tablespoon of parsley and then a 1/4 cup of white cooking wine. I did it by the tablespoon. I did 4 at a time, so that's what you're seeing there. Once that cooked up nice and well, I dropped it on down to medium heat, and I started to add in my cream cheese. Now, this is 6 ounces of cream cheese. I put it in 6 different little blocks so that it would break up a little bit better, and then I just started to move that around. Now, you're going to use 3/4 cup of chicken broth, but you're not going to put them all in at the same time. You're just going to do little by little. So you'll see me drop in a little bit here and then here and there as we move along with this. As you can see here, I was having a little bit of trouble with the cream cheese sticking to my kitchen tool, but don't let that deter you. Go ahead and just keep mixing on it, and it'll eventually cook on down. As long as you keep adding in that chicken broth little by little, it'll do enough to cook it up nice and well, and then it'll all mix in and eventually start to bubble up for you. Once you got it all bubbled up, you're going to go ahead and you're going to put in 3 ounces of cheddar cheese and drop it down to medium-low. Then you're going to put in a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, and then 1.5 teaspoons of Dijon mustard. Once you're done with that, you're also going to put in about half a teaspoon of black pepper, and you can put in a little salt as well. And then you're going to mix all of that together. Then you will have your sauce for your green bean casserole all ready. From here, we're going to go ahead and put that sauce in on top of our green beans and our bacon. Now, our green beans have already been cooked. You can go ahead and not cook them and have them cook while the casserole is cooking, but I just decided to go ahead and cook them so that it would take less time to cook in the oven. From there, I'm going to go ahead and drop in the mixture into an 8x8 pan that has been coated with some butter to make sure that it doesn't stick. And then on top of that, I'm going to go ahead and drop in my pork rind mix. So the pork rind mix is 1/3 of a cup of pork rinds that are all crushed up, a teaspoon of garlic powder, and a teaspoon of salt. We're gonna pop it in the oven for about 20 minutes, and there you go. It is all cooked up. This was so delicious, and I greatly enjoyed it. Next up, we have our Keto Pumpkin Pie with Streusel topping. You guys, this was so good. It was fabulous. I loved it so much. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take a can of pure pumpkin and drop it on down in there. Next with that, we have 1 cup of heavy cream, 2 large eggs, 3/4 a cup of swerve, and then 1 tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice, and we're just gonna mix it up until it's all nice and well combined. We're gonna go ahead and put that in a dish and put it in the oven at 350 for 45 minutes. While that's in there cooking, we take 1/2 cup of almond flour, 1/2 cup of chopped walnuts, 3 tablespoons of brown swerve, 2 tablespoons of coconut flour, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1/4 cup of melted butter. We're just gonna mix all that together until it's nice and well combined. And it'll look like that when it's all said and done. Now, once this pops out of the oven, we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna spread it out on top, and we're gonna leave the oven at 350 because once we get it all on there, we're gonna pop it back in and let it sit there for anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. Mine took the full 20 minutes, and there it was when it came out, and I'm telling you, this was wonderful. It was probably my favorite of the week if it wasn't for what we have coming up next, which is our 4-ingredient sugar-free cranberry sauce. The best part about this 4-ingredient sugar-free cranberry sauce is that it has 5 ingredients. I'm just kidding. I tend to think that water is very necessary. I actually thought it was so necessary that even though it called for only 4 ounces of water, I decided for some reason that read as 4 cups of water. Now, I was able to save it. I went ahead, and it's supposed to cook on medium heat for 5 to 7 minutes after we dump our 12 ounces of cranberries in there. Got it nice and hot, and I was like, why isn't this popping as well? Well, there's probably way too much water, but I was able to fix it, so no worries. Stirred it up, got them nice and popped at least for a little while. And once I got that done, I went ahead and put in the remainder of the ingredients. So that's gonna be 1 cup of swerve granular sweetener, and then we're gonna put in a teaspoon of cinnamon, and then a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then we're gonna mix it until it's nice and well combined. Now, I said I was able to save this. There was really only one way you can save having way too much water. First is a little bit more heat, and the second is a little bit more time. And I just boiled, baby, boiled until I got this nice and cooked in. It actually helped a lot, to be fair. I think it made the berries pop a little bit better. It made everything soak in a little bit better. And I was happy with the result, even though I kind of went off the rails. So there you have it. That is our 4-ish ingredients sugar-free cranberry sauce. It was wonderful. It was even better the next day with this. This is Highkey bread and muffin mix. Now, this is the cornbread flavor. It didn't really taste very much like cornbread. It kind of had like a sweet cake taste to it, but it was still really good. It went wonderfully with the cranberry sauce, and even better, it comes at 2 grams of net carbs per serving. So overall, it was very nice to have along with that cranberry sauce, and it kind of rounded out the rest of our recipes. All right, thanks again, guys. We really appreciate the support. Give us a like, subscribe if you haven't already, so that you can be here every Sunday for Suz's keto dinner recipe videos. Once again, this is Ellie with our keto Thanksgiving recipes, and we'll see you soon.